Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 through 28. Jesus stills the storm. And when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. A windstorm arose on the sea, so great that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. They went and woke him up, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, you of little faith?" And he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was dead calm. They were amazed, saying, "What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" We pause to reflect and pray with today's gospel passage. The point of these videos are to help you not only reflect on the Gospels, but to pray with the Gospels. And they're two different things. In order for it to be true prayer, there has to be a moment of communication, a moment of relationship between you and God. If we read this and reflect on it without going to God, then that's not prayer. And so the reflection is really the starting point to get you to hone in on an aspect of this. But then hopefully after that reflection, you're able to just freely speak to God, or to read the passage again, let God speak to you in the silence. And that can be difficult, definitely difficult. I always say, when we're praying with Scripture, what are the things that you notice? What are the things that are challenging to you? What are the things that are applicable to your life that you can then have a conversation with God? God, where are you leading me? God, what are you saying to me? God, what do you want me to do with this passage, with this situation that comes to mind when I'm reading this passage? Today's passage, there's two things that I'm drawn to. One, of course, is the event of the calming of the storm. Realizing that the storm can represent many things in our lives. I think, during the school year, my life feels like it's just in the midst of a storm. There's just things constantly going on, and my attention's being drawn or taken away from what I'm focusing on to a situation that needs to be handled. And it just never seems to be a break. In the midst of that hecticness, the craziness of life, we can find stillness and peace through prayer with God. And in fact, it's only when I'm able to do that I can deal with the storms in life. That's why I make prayer a priority of my day, and I start every day with prayer, with 30 minutes of just me, coffee, a Bible, and God. And what started out as me reading a lot has turned into me speaking a little bit, but then listening to God and letting God speak to me in that moment. The second thing I'm drawn to is the question that the disciples ask at the end. What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Part of being a disciple is reflecting continuously on the question of who is Jesus, because our answer to that question is going to affect the way we approach Jesus, the way we ultimately carry out our discipleship. If we believe that Jesus is God, believe in the things that are written about him, the things that are said about him, then that's going to impact our life. If we believe that most of the things in the Bible are not true and that they were exaggerated, we're going to pay less attention and it'll be less of a priority. So my question for you to pray about is, how are you making time for God in the midst of life's storms? And what sort of man is Jesus? God bless.